Humanitarian broadcaster.
On speak to the report on Salam Media with me, Maria Mukonda. Schools will be closing soon, as well as daycares, creches, and ECDs will also follow. And everyone will be on holiday because the December holidays are right around the corner. And well, I'm sure parents already have their hands full with deciding what to do first for Black Friday and then what to do for their kids when they stay at home in terms of activities and in terms of holiday trips and in terms of things to watch on TV and of course food and snacks to eat. But then what happens to the children and how can parents continue to enhance their child's development while they are at home? Joining me right now is ECD practitioner from Elimo Academy, Ayeesha Kobuoe. Assalamu alaikum. Good day, Ayeesha. Thank you for joining me.
Wa alaikum salam. Good day to everybody and all the listeners.
All right. So first of all, what happens to children when daycares and ECDs close for the holidays?
When ECDs and school programs, space schools close down for the holidays, parents tend to get extremely anxious on what activities they can do to continue the learning process. With the pandemic, a lot of children have missed out on school. For example, if a parent tests positive, the child will be in isolation for 10 days, meaning that for 10 days they didn't attend school. So parents have been very anxious. I find that with my experience, they've been anxious and not knowing what to do, how to continue the learning process, and finding that they cannot engage children in any learning activity because of the extreme changes with the pandemic.
Now, what is the role of the parent in the child's early development?
The important role for parents is that more than anything, learning begins at home. For example, with language, children start learning their mother tongue. So they start learning their mother tongue, making it easy for them to learn other languages. So a parent actively teaching their children their mother tongue makes the transition for them to learn English, for example, a lot easier because they're now familiar with language. And we find that children, when they come to school, they engage in activities and would want to report back to parents. So parents need to be excited with children telling them the happenings of the day. We inform parents on a daily basis over WhatsApp what was the happenings of the day, and just a brief information on what the outcome was with a specific child. We do that on a daily basis. We are a small school, so we get to do it for our parents every single day. And then it helps with a child coming back home excited, showing parents what they learned on the day, and sharing how the day was with their peers. And unfortunately, it is a challenge for parents who are working every day to engage with their kids. But we try and fill them in on the happenings of the day, and it makes it easier for the parent to bond at the end of the day with their children with what happened during the school.
Yeah, well, parents should not just drop their kids off and then pick them up later and pretend as if nothing happened during the course of the day. Now, how does the role of parents affect the child's growth?
Children are affected negatively if parents show no interest in their development. Naturally, children would want affirmation from their parents first, then their peers, and then obviously as practitioners. But for social development and confidence, self-esteem, the parent would be the primary person to give it first to the child with words of affirmation and positive talk. So it's very important for parents to just try and take the time out of their busy schedule. A child doesn't need the entire day for a parent to engage with them. maybe 15 to 20 minutes aside, just to engage and familiarize yourself with the development of your child. It makes parenting easier, and it makes life simple for the little ones as well.
Right. I heard somewhere that you shouldn't ask your child how was their day. So
Mhm.
what questions can you ask them, when you pick them up from the daycare or the creche or even school going kids? What questions are you supposed to ask them so that you engage with them and they open up and you have a conversation about their experience at school?
Normally, children at the beginning of the year, if they start the new school year, they will make new friends. So they will come home and tell you who's their new friend and what games they played with each child. So a parent will have to take note of the different names that the child shares. So you don't have to specify, but you can use the word friends. Use the word friends. How many new friends did you make today? That's another question you can ask, and they will instantly engage in the entire activities of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another way that I use with my own children is when they have free time at home, when they play with their dolls or their teddy bears, they will normally emulate what happened in their school life. So they will, because remember, children like to imagine, they like imagination. So they will take toys and play with them with more than the intended purpose. So they will take your cards or whatever it is that is around the house, their blanket, their teddy bears, and they will role play each person that influences them in the school setting. So it's for you to just leave the child to play on the floor or whatever area that they've chosen, and you listen carefully to what they say. You'll be able
Mm-hmm.
to the happenings of the day because children do tell you about their day even without you asking.
Mm-hmm. I'm smiling right now because I've experienced that with my daughter as well as my niece. They'll be sitting down on their own, gather their toys or the dolls, and role playing and doing the voices also, and singing and
Mhm.
dancing. It is very interesting to watch because even though they don't tell you what happens, you pick up what happens because they are now able to role play and share their little story or situation that happened at the school or the daycare.
That's true. Some children are more vocal than others. So you'll find a child when you pick them up, they'll run quickly to mommy, open the car door, and they're already sharing. They're already giving you the rundown of what happened in their day. And children who are more reserved are the ones who will probably play it out in role playing and with their extended family or even on their own. So it's for parents just watch closely and try to refrain from using people's names and roles so that they don't see that you're specifically asking about somebody within the school.
Hmm. And I guess that can also help, where when kids uh, um, are in an abusive setting and if they are afraid to share this with their parents, if parents pay attention to their role playing and when they play with their toys, they'll actually pick up what is happening in the school and they'll be able to address that issue. Now, how can parents continue to enhance their child's development at home? The schools are going to be closing soon, and some of the kids are going to be at home without their parents. And when the parents do eventually get time off, then they'll be able to join their kids. And during the December holidays, it's like chill vibes for everyone. Everybody just wants to relax and forget about the
Mhm.
stresses of the year that was and are looking forward to the year that will be coming. But you still want to kind of stimulate your child in a way that they are better prepared for the coming year.
The coming year. That's true. I know everybody, it's been a tough, year or two with the pandemic, and we all just want to relax, and not stress about anything. and have our children calm. But for parents, I feel every parent should continue the learning processes, even at home, because with children, they learn through play. Simple play is used as an opportunity to teach a child. It doesn't have to be a formal setting with a desk, paper, and crayons or a coloring book. Remember, the attention span of children is according to their age. So you want to engage them for the specific time and let them get maximum benefit. I have quite a few things that parents can use at home that takes about 5 to 15 minutes at most to prepare or to engage with the child, and you will get the maximum effect. For children, I don't know if I should go into it now.
Yes, you may.
Okay, for children 0 to 6 months, children learn through, I just want to highlight that children learn through experiencing the environment in terms of touch, feel, taste, and listening and hearing. They listen to what we say, they look at what we do, they want to touch items, they want to experience things through touch and just manipulating objects. You can use objects around the house. You don't have to buy anything expensive, or even an expensive toy is not necessary in this instance, because you'll find you have this expensive toy, but a child would rather take a spoon and a pot and bang, and make music, and they will have the most fun. And you find that toys are just lying around and they have no use. So it's to
Yes.
use the resources you have and spend as little money as possible. So this will go out to everybody, will cover everybody, even those who think they cannot afford, items that can help them with stimulating their child. For children 0 to 6 months, this is a time where children at most they are doing tummy time. So they lie on their tummy, slightly lift their head, and this strengthens their core and gets them ready for crawling. So in this stage, to keep the child engaged for longer, because I know babies do not like tummy time. Most babies around tummy time, they cry. You can use sensory bags. Sensory bags are great for sensory. You will need Ziploc bags, large Ziploc bags,
Yeah.
plastic, clear gel, and quite a few items that you can put in the Ziploc bag. I'll give a few examples. For this is for babies 0 to 6 months. You will take the Ziploc bag, a large one, and place clear gel. You can find clear gel in any pharmacy. Gel is inexpensive. You can put in ribbons, cut ribbons into large enough pieces, and place it in the sensory bag and just seal it nicely so that nothing spills out. And use that tape to tape it on the floor. And with little kids, you have to make sure that the surface is soft, because they tend to bobble over their head when they're tired of lifting their tiny head. So make sure that you are there for supervision. They might not be able to reach for the bag, but it will keep them engaged with them looking around at the shiny objects that you put in the bag. So that what I'm done for is I put different color buttons in the bag. I'll put different color buttons, or you can put in glitter. I know most parents don't like glitter, but this contains the glitter because the glitter will be in the gel, so it won't spread all over the house. So you can put you can put in pom-poms, different color pom-poms, or the shiny pom-poms as well. So parents can just place baby on the floor on their tummy and place the Ziploc bag right in front of them and move the objects with their fingers to help the child move around their eyes to look at the different objects while lifting their head, and this will strengthen them and prepare them for the content. You can literally put anything in the sensory bag, anything that your baby will love looking at, and anything that is colorful. Another sensory activity, this is for children 2 to 6 years old, is great for number recognition. So for math, you will need phone numbers. Phone numbers, you can find them in any toy store. They're inexpensive. They're not expensive. You get your phone numbers, a slice water, and you can line the different numbers in order on the floor and call out the different numbers and have your baby or child watch the number. They'll hit the number. So you will call out the number 5 and they will hit the number 5. And then you call out the number 7, they will hit the number 7. If you want, as a parent, you can do it in order or just randomly. But this will help with them recognizing numbers 1 to 10.
Okay.
And they can also have fun at the end and just swap the numbers randomly without you even calling them out. It's the little ones who are very hyperactive, engaged for a long time. And another one that you can do, which is sensory, is you will need a large bowl with your dishwashing liquid. You take a large bowl, place it inside, and put a little bit of dishwashing liquid and make a nice fluffy foam. And then the same numbers that you use for the number recognition with the slice water, you can put them in the water. So now the numbers have multiple purposes. You can reuse them. Take them in the water and give them a large scoop spoon for them to scoop out the numbers and put them aside. This helps with grasp, with control, and they manipulate the object, which then strengthens their little muscles for when they're ready to hold a pen or a pen. Yes. Another one that I have sorry?
Yes. Another one you have?
Another one I have for fine motor for children 2 to 6 years old is letter matching. So it will help with them identifying the letters of the alphabet. You will need ice cream sticks. Ice cream sticks again are inexpensive. A shoe box, and this is for adults to prepare. You also need a scissor or a knife so that you can poke little holes on the box, on the shoe box. We have 26 letters in the alphabet. You poke, 26 holes, and then with a marker, write the letters of the alphabet. You will choose if you want to write them in order or just randomly, and then take your ice cream stick and write again the letters of the alphabet. And have your child fine motor insert the ice cream stick in the hole while matching the letters. Inexpensive. And for physical development, my favorite, I wrote down 3 of my favorites that I find engage my children because I'm another of 6 as well.
Yes.
Musical chairs is one amazing way to help children with listening. So listening skills, you put on a song and you will have, let's say, the 5 members of the family. You'll put 4 chairs. So you'll put 4 chairs and play music and stop it at a certain point. And as the music stops, you have to find a chair to sit on. And if one doesn't find a chair, then they kick out of the game and you move one chair away. I find it helps with listening. Even the most hyperactive child will engage in that activity because they'll be listening to the song and just waiting to the point of when you stop the song. It's called musical chairs. I use it a lot in our preschool, and it helps me a lot with hyperactive boys. So they get to, run around the chairs and also listen to when the music will stop, and they like running for the chair and see who's going to be thrown out of the game first. Another game that I like is Simon Says. Simon Says is very simple. So parents can take their children and the backyard or even in the living area. You can move furniture around and just play Simon Says. What a parent will say to the child is Simon Says, sit down. And then the kid will sit down. You also sit down. Simon Says, stand up. Simon Says, hop on one leg. Simon Says, lie on your stomach. So it's physical activity, and the parents can also engage. It doesn't take a lot of time. Again, it's 5 to 15 minutes. And Simon Says and musical chairs, if you have 2 or more children, it's beneficial as well. And also when you have extended family over for the holidays, the cousins can also, play in. So they keep them busy. And the last one that I have is hopscotch. Hopscotch, inexpensive as well. You get your large chalk that you can get from a toy store. They are about less than 30 rand. You get then you can go out on the pavement and just score a hopscotch from 1 to 10. You can use it for number recognition, for physical development. Children get to hop on both legs or one leg onto the hopscotch until the number 10.
Mhm. Well, definitely a lot of ideas that parents can make use of. I know I'm going to make use of these because during the holidays, cousins are going to be here, like you mentioned, and too much screen time is not really good for kids. So we might as well be hopscotching and musical chairing our ways during the holidays. And also, I think what parents can do is get, if you don't have space for a pool, or if there's no pool in your yard, in your area, then you can just buy one of those little splash pools, those little baby pools, and put some toys in there for the kids to play. Babies can play with it. Other kids, 2 to 6 years, can also have some fun in the water. Yeah, great tips. Thank you for sharing them with us. And when it is during the holiday times, some parents decide to take their kids away for a vacation. Uh, are these doable? Can you also use these tips on a trip somewhere?
Yes, they are doable. I mean, in your traveling bag, you can place your Ziploc and your chow and do this in a hotel room or whatever booking you've had away from home during the holidays. Another great way, fine motor is also is sensory. Sorry, sensory also sand. Play sand. If you're at the beach, that play sand is enough for sensory, and children can build a castle. There's so many games you can play. You can build a castle. You can perhaps let them collect a certain number of buckets of sand, and they can count how many buckets they use to build whatever it is that they want to build. That's math, that's sensory, because I know children tend to their attention span tends to be very little because they'll run to the water and come back. And parents are tired, they want to relax under the shade, the umbrella. So you can have them do that. Make sure they have a hat, of course, and plenty of sunscreen so they can collect whatever amount of buckets of sand that they need and help them build a sand castle or a car. I know my boys like to make a roadway, and use little items, anything. You say to them, this is a stop sign, this is a zebra crossing. So also when you drive to your holiday destination, you can engage your children by allowing them to just, look outside and experience their surroundings while going there. They could go and see whatever it is, I know when we go, for example, to Limpopo, because my children are in Gauteng, they're excited to see cows, just cross the road. And horses along the way, the different farms have horses. It's something they don't get to experience every single day. So that also takes them away from screen time. Because I know it's easy to just hand a child an iPad for them to keep quiet. But mommy and daddy could be driving, mommy on the passenger seat could just ask the kids, look out the window and tell me what you see. And then the kids will tell you the different items, and those who are very curious will also ask you questions, and until perhaps the next stop and they get something to eat and then they take a little nap and we do that again. It doesn't take a lot of your time and it takes away children from screen time as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ayeesha, thank you so much for your time and for sharing those great tips with us. I hope our parents will prepare themselves for the holidays and prepare their children for the coming year and the school academic year. For now, thank you, and also have a wonderful holiday. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much.
Ayeesha Kobuoe from Elimu Academy, also an early childhood practitioner, giving us tips on how to enhance or enhance our children's development while they're at home during the holidays, and activities that are not just for babies but also for toddlers and school going kids. Do something with your kids during the holidays. And if you are working from home, well, now is the best time to better prepare for the holidays and the vacation. And with the numbers of COVID cases increasing, who knows, we might have to go into level 4 again, but we don't know. We'll soon know what the president has to say about our current situation. But for now, do stay with us. We will be right back after the break.